Hey there my friends, guys and girls, thanks a lot for tuning in. Today I'm here at the landing site because I would really like to play with my wing in this wind. We have very strong gusts. Up to 30 kilometers per hour, the wind gusts are supposed to pick up now. So I am going to lay my glider in the wet grass and do some nice ground handling, or just play around and see how good I can have the wing under control, and maybe I can also give you some tips on how to hold your glider down in such a strong wind. Maybe also as well how to take off. So let's see how that goes. Okay, let's unpack everything and give it a shot. So as you can see, my glider is now here. The sail openings are not going to be laid like this and the wind to blow into them, but they are going to be laid here. My glider is going to be laid like this because the wind comes sideways. So what actually happens when you do that is that you are minimizing the angle of attack of the wind on your paraglider. So maybe one tip can be tucked in or rolled over the glider. For me, what is most important is to be able to look at my lines to make sure that they are free. But actually, if you follow a correct packing procedure, you should not have problems with that. So let's say, for example, now you want to pack your glider again and you do not want to get it blown. Best thing to do is to tuck in maybe one tip of your glider first. Okay. So if you grab it here like this and you put it on top of each other like this, you are going to be able to hold your glider without getting it blown in the wind, and you are going to walk towards the wind like this. So if the wind now comes from the front, you do not go with the sail openings like this for them to be inflated, but you walk with the glider like this into the wind, and that should prevent it from opening it. Put my glider like this into the wind, that's for sure in the wind. And if you want to make sure that you're not going to get blown away, just put it like this, put one side into the wind and everything should be good. Everything else is going to do the wind again. The wind is going to re-inflate the glider when you want to. But this now gives me time to set my glider, to put myself in reverse launch configuration. Let's have some fun, shall we? What I'm going to do, I will just put like this the brakes over my hands and hold these, grab both of them, and once the wind is inflating the wing too much and you do not want that, you can just have the D lines in your hand and you can pull the trailing edge to you, and that's going to prevent the wing from rising. So if you just lean backwards, that might be completely enough sometimes to control the wing without being pulled. So if you want to keep that pressure, you just lean a bit backwards, and if you want to control it, just pull your D lines. You see, now I'm just pulling them and the trailing edge is falling to the ground. You see, just like that. Look, that's what happens when you pull the D lines and you have your brakes in your hand as well. You can also just pull on your brakes, but if the wind is too strong, you are going to create lift and too much pressure, and that might indicate the wing to take off. So you do not want that if you want to just pin it at the ground. Okay, now let's try to bring it up in the air. So how are you going to do that? If the wind is very strong, you might have to wait a bit first before you are yanking on your A lines too hard. So you're just waiting for the right moment. Okay, the wind looks pretty good right now. And that's how it is. And that's how it's done. Okay, so I'm bringing now my glider into the wind. I'm grabbing these and I am moving towards like this, the wind. If I want to tease the glider to open, I am just holding still my D's in one hand and the right brake, and I am going with the left one and grabbing the two upper A lines, and I am just teasing it a bit to open, and I'm pulling back on the D's just like that. So now the A's, I release them out of my hand, and I am holding each in one hand the D lines and the brake, and now I have total control over the wing. If you want to take off now in this position, it's either you are waiting a bit for the wind to calm down, pulling just slightly like this on your A lines, or you are just having such a strong wind that is for you going to be enough to lean slowly backwards and just release the D's out of your hand slowly, and the glider is going to rise up. But we are going to do now, because the wind is not too strong, we are going to keep the D's in this hand here, and we are going to tease the wing with the A's just a bit. So just like this, pull a bit on the D's. Okay, now you put it back to the ground. You can as well control the glider with your brakes, just with your brakes. And if you just want to use the brakes alone, you can wrap them, but you have to watch out, because if you wrap the brakes too much, you might get a floppy trailing edge, and if the wind is too strong, it's still going to take your glider up in the air and just flop it uncontrollably. But if you want to launch, do not pull on the D's if the wind is too weak. Just pull on the A's and tease the glider up in the air. Slowly move it out, okay? Now like this. Just like that, you see? Turn around. And that's how you take off basically. A strong wind, it's enough to have like maybe 20-25 kilometers per hour wind. That's a pretty good speed, I would say. If you go on top of the hill, you should never place your glider exactly where the wind is blowing the strongest, because that's how the hill goes. And starting from the bottom of the hill, the wind comes up, and exactly here on top of the hill is where the wind picks up the highest speed, so is reaching the highest speed. So you want to place yourself a bit lower. So in this situation, this is the hill, this here, the top layer, the top side of the mountain would be the strongest one. So I am going to avoid doing that, and I am going to place my glider a bit lower, which is somewhere around here. And that helps, because in case you are going to be dragged, you still have some room to correct your mistake and gain the control over it once again. But if you are starting already there on top of the hill and your glider is going to yank you too strong through the air, I would land there in the bushes. So that's why I am starting here at the lower side of the hill, of the mountain, and here is exactly where I am going to place my wing, right here. This guy is just from the club just informed me right now that the wind is not going to decrease anytime soon, and I noticed that this is stronger, the wind, than I thought it was going to be, but still I know I can manage it. I started in such winds before too. I'm going to do it. Okay, a bit of wind is not so strong anymore. Whoa, 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 whoa. Woo! Okay. Okay, I took off. I took off. Yeah, so I hope I could give you some tips. Of course, there are different ways to take off in strong wind. You just need a lot of practice. I also need still a lot of practice, but that's why I'm here, and I decided to wake up in the morning and just leave the cozy warm bed. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Subscribe if you are not subscribed as yet, and maybe you would like to check out the playlist. I have many paragliding videos on my channel, as well as traveling vlogs. So if you want to see those, just make sure to click in the description below. I also have the links to them. Stay safe, fly with passion, and see you in the next one. Bye.